warm welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. For decades, the defense market was a one-way street. India was a buyer and the global powers were the sellers. Today, that narrative has been decisively dismantled. India has officially entered the global elite of defense exporters. And the star of this show is the BrahMos, the supersonic cruise missile that has become the gold standard for maritime deterrence in the Indo-Pacific. Now we have confirmation from the highest levels of the Indian Ministry of Defence. The deal to supply BrahMos missiles to Vietnam has been signed. And that's not all. Negotiations with Indonesia are now in their final stages. We are looking at a regional BrahMos network that is fundamentally changing the power balance in the South China Sea. So why does this matter? Well, to understand the strategic shift, you have to look at the map. You have the Philippines, who became the first foreign buyer in 2022. And now you add Vietnam and Indonesia to the mix. What you have is not just a series of isolated sales. It is the birth of a maritime denial corridor. These nations share a common challenge, protecting their sovereignty over contested waters. By deploying BrahMos batteries along their coast, these countries are creating a layered defense that makes it incredibly costly for any adversary to project power in the region. It changes the battle space economics. You don't need a massive billion-dollar navy to deter an intruder anymore. A single battery of mobile, land-based BrahMos missiles can cover thousands of kilometers, making the sea a very dangerous place for unauthorized vessels. So why the global rush for this very specific missile? Well, the BrahMos is a marvel of Indo-Russian collaboration, the fastest supersonic cruise missile in the world. It cruises at nearly 3 times the speed of sound, Mach 3, and has a fire and forget capability. Once it's launched, the operator doesn't need to do anything else. It hugs the terrain or the waves at an altitude as low as 10 meters, making it nearly impossible for existing missile defense systems to track or intercept it. Now, when you fire it in a salvo mode, it becomes a nightmare for any surface fleet. It has more than 32 times the kinetic energy of a subsonic missile like the Tomahawk. It doesn't just hit, it shatters. And with over 76% of its components now manufactured indigenously in India, the reliability and the supply chain are entirely within our control. But there is also a diplomatic signal here that is just as loud as the military one. Defense Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh, speaking at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, was clear. We treat these nations as friendly foreign countries with whom we can share advanced defense technologies. This is the maturation of India's Act East policy. We are moving from mere dialogue to hard security partnerships. India is no longer just a neutral player in the Indian Ocean. We are an active architect of regional stability. By exporting these systems, India is fostering a bloc of nations that are now tied to our technology, our training, and our strategic trust. The era of India relying on others for its security is fading. We are now a supplier of security. With Vietnam's signature on the dotted line and Indonesia close behind, the BrahMos shield is no longer just a concept. It is a reality stretching across the most critical shipping lanes in the world. And for the regional powers looking to assert their sovereignty, the message from New Delhi is clear. We are standing right by your side. That's it on this segment. Stay tuned for more news.